More than a game. Might do that one again. But Bluetooth going. Hang on. You got your prop ready, have you, mate?
Yeah, just a little,
little basketball.
Yeah.
More than a game. It will always be about more than basketball.
Okay, welcome along to the pre-2022-23 season edition of More Than a Game podcast. I'm your host, Tim Wilshire, with the great Andre Moore.
What's up, y'all?
How you going, Andre?
Pretty good, man. Pretty fair for a square, as the old timers used to say. I'm pretty fair for a square.
Pretty fair for a square. What we like to do at the start of the episode, just to pay respects to the people of the land, we're the previous, I guess, the original owners of the land. So just like to pay our respects to that. So we've got an interesting sort of I guess pre-season's done. The regular season starts today. Tip off right now, Philadelphia versus Boston. That's the first game of the season. So I'm certainly looking forward to there's only two games on today, Philly and Boston, Lakers versus Golden State. So it's going to be a very good season. It's getting very, very sort of close as well. I think there's a lot of any team can sort of win, and we'll talk about it, who your predictions are for who's going to win it all. But this is I guess the first opportunity to think about. Let's talk about what do you think about the Eastern Conference? I mean, there's so many teams there that could potentially win it this year.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Boston made it to the NBA Finals last year. They've got the Rock DJ Robbie Williams is out for probably nearly half the season, I think, with his injury. So that will have a bit of an effect. But I think they've done very, very well in getting the services of Malcolm Brogdon. I think that's going to certainly help them.
Brogdon's the guy. Yeah, he's a solid player, man. Yeah. The first thing that comes to mind when I see the East and the league as a whole is parity. There's a lot of parity, a lot of balance. Every team, the stars all amongst the league. The one thing I'm worried about, and I'll put that out there right away, is this very adverse, very I'll just say evil word, I think, in sports is tanking.
Yeah, there is. We are going to talk about tanking. That's actually one of the things I want to talk about. Actually, we will talk about tanking.
And we know why, because of this. The potential of this the French superstar that will be coming to the league next year, along with another little guard too. I forget his name.
Yeah, well, definitely. I suppose we could talk about that straight away if you like. So, tanking.
Well, we stay on course here. We can stick with the East. So my predictions. Let's go back to the East. The East league, the conference. My prediction out of it, I think I can see. I'll see Brooklyn coming out of that East. I know it's a stretch, but they. Based on what they got on paper and the adversity they had during the offseason, I think they're gonna pull it together. I got confidence in Ben, the talent level he has and what he can bring to the table. Kyrie and Durant, we know what they can bring, what they're gonna bring, and some of their ancillary players, some of the players surrounding those guys are quite handy. So I see them. I see them coming out of the East, yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting prediction. Brooklyn, there's so many, as you see, a lot of parity. I think it's good to see Ben Simmons back. It really, really is great to see him back, and hopefully the confidence remains.
Yeah, Ben Simmons is back because his back is back.
Yeah, he's back, so he's back.
Yeah,
Joe Harris is back as well, another person who can shoot the three.
Yeah, that's the one thing.
And they've already got Steph Curry, and I don't know how many minutes Patty Mills is going to play, but probably not many.
You say Steph or Seth?
Seth. Sorry. Sorry. Seth Curry. And they've got, I like Claxton's got free reign to be the pivot now. I think he's going to have a big year. I think Claxton I'd put him on the shortish list of most improved players, potentially, maybe.
Potentially, definitely, yeah.
I think there's an opportunity there for him anyway. I think he can certainly shine and become like a Capella or one of these sort of guys that can really sort of, dunk. I mean, I don't know. I saw one preseason game where he had 6 dunks.
He can get up. Definitely get up.
So I think rightly Brooklyn you have to worry about them, especially if they're going to stay healthy, like what we're seeing here.
That's physically and mentally. Obviously, physically and mentally from all those guys. Kyrie with his flat Earth stuff, Ben with his stuff, and the big three, and KD with his mental state can be not. He's a smart guy, very intelligent man, but he can be a bit petty and kind of childish at times.
So tell us about the other 2 teams which we haven't really spoken about, which I think are definitely going to contend here in the East. Milwaukee and Philadelphia.
Oh, definitely. There'll be teams to be reckoned with. With the Greek Freak. Getting better and better, and Philly. I think James Harden's he seems so far like he's in a better place as well too mentally.
He's in great shape, and we'll get to see how good how good they are against that game today is going to be certainly worth watching. Philly versus Boston, as we said. So Embiid
Maxi's coming into his own too. We got to think about Maxi is really, really coming into his own.
Yeah, no, we've got to see how Maxi goes. I like they've got the addition there of PJ Tucker.
And, corner 3 man,
And Tobias Harris is now your 4th option. So very solid team, and I'm not sure. I think the bench with Melton is going to be fairly solid as well.
No, I like Melton's game.
So some really good guard play there for Philadelphia.
So Milwaukee, their one issue will be not having Middleton. Middleton's apparently going to have some more surgery.
Out for at least a month.
Okay, yeah.
But he's usually a pretty solid sort of guy, so you don't usually get to see him get injured for more than that. So we'll hopefully he'll be back. They are going to start really tall. Portis is going to start with Lopez and Giannis on day one. I've heard. So it's a very big, tall starting front court with J. Rue Holiday, one of the best point guards in the NBA.
Right. Totally talented, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they're the 4 teams there, and Miami is the other team to think about as well, because they're still very solid and underrated, and they seem to develop the talent.
Right. One thing with Miami I worry about is I love Bam Adebayo, but he's such an undersized big guy. How will he handle the pivot area? Get some of that tall timber they got in the East there.
Yeah, no, it's a valid point, and he needs to prove himself in a way. But Butler needs to obviously have a great season. But I'm not sure. I mean, Tyler Hero got paid a lot of money in the season. Going to start. So there's going to be Lowry and Hero in the starting backcourt, that'll be interesting. And also, most likely they'll probably start Caleb Martin at the power forward position.
Yeah, the twin. He's starting really. His career is starting to really take off as well too. Caleb.
Yep.
Brother's still in Charlotte, right?
Brother's in Charlotte. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
And also, so the teams that we expect to get maybe a little bit better, certainly Atlanta and Cleveland. I think the addition of DeJounte Murray to Trae Young is going to give them a really. We've seen these sort of situations work before, where you have 2 really good guards starting in a backcourt. Doesn't always work, but it can work.
Yeah.
What do you think about this backcourt?
Oh, dynamic. Yeah, dynamic. I watched DeJounte in the summer work really hard, played really well. Yeah, I saw the little clip of him and the rookie Banchero going at it in his one summer league game. And he showed me some stuff that I didn't really follow San Antonio last year. He showed me some flashiness and efficiency that was quite astounding. There was one particular move where he and Banchero were going at it. He's tough too. They was talking smack to each other, and he had a play where he bounced it off Banchero's head and then threw it off the backboard to himself went and slammed it, and then smashed, then took the ball and threw it into Banchero's chest, and like, "Welcome to the league, rookie," sort of thing,
Yeah,
He
yeah.
kind of flag, I didn't really, it wasn't really, we didn't really view it as much last year because we didn't really follow San Antonio. But I think, and then little Trey, as long as he ain't nutmegging people, that little nutmeg move is kind of very annoying, even though it's efficient sometimes. But he can shoot the light. He shoots the lights out. Just a crafty little player, playmaker, and all that. So yeah, they'll be a great backcourt. Fun to watch.
You're surprised they've still got Capella and John Collins? They've still got both those guys?
No, they're pretty efficient guys. I'm not surprised to see those guys. They belong. I like both of their games. And who knows what they probably weren't able to make the moves in off season they wanted to. So but I think they'll still be well off with those two guys. Yeah.
And what about, let's talk about Donovan Mitchell going to Cleveland. I think that's going to change a few things too in the East. I mean, Cleveland were pretty good early in the season, petered off. Where do you see Cleveland finishing?
I see Cleveland being right there in the mix. Donovan Mitchell, he has a lot to prove. He's an eighth grade talent, along with the little guard Garland, and they got a really nice front line too as well. All the big fellas, all healthy. They got one of the best front lines in the league. So they're gonna be right there in the mix too, in the East.
Yeah, I like their team. I think it'll be interesting to see if they can all play together. I really hope they can.
Yeah.
Garland's great on how he and Don Mitchell work together with that front court. It's going to be very, very interesting. Yeah. The Bulls haven't really improved, I don't think. I think
I think they're kind of like Chicago looks like they're kind of like what I would call treadmilling. You know about treadmilling? It's kind of
basically just trying to stay above the head above water, and that's difficult because
the other team, you're just kind of moving. You kind of just moving. You're not really going nowhere.
And I read Zach LaVine might have a problem too, so that's not going to help things.
Well, physical.
Just an ankle thing again, I think, from what I read today. So
Ball's out again, right? What's Ball? Ball's has an underlying issue that's very concerning. What's happening with him.
So a lot's going to rest again on he sort of put it on his shoulders a bit last year, DeRozan, but I think it's going to really rest on him again. How well Chicago go. The other team sort of not mentioned there, which could make the top 8 quite easily, I think, is New York. I think with the addition of the new point guard from Dallas, that's what's his name? Brunson.
Yeah.
Brunson Burner. Yeah.
Dad played out in the National Basketball League here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rick
so he obviously signing there. There's obviously still got Roland Barrett. They've still got Julius Randle. So
Randle has come with it this year. He didn't have such a good year last year.
Yeah, he had a pretty rough year last year by his standards, and I think he's sort of needs to really step up and be efficient and do all the right things you need to do in order to get the Knicks contending. So the East is tough, man. Have I missed out at any good teams in the East, or is that pretty much all of them? I think.
This who you got listed up here. They'll be the main ones contending for the battle for the battle of the East right here.
I can't think. I mean, Detroit, Charlotte, they're not going to compete. Orlando, no. There's Toronto. I forgot about Toronto. They certainly
Canadian friends. Yeah.
They could easily be ahead of even teams like Atlanta. So Toronto, very, very tough team. The same core 5 guys. They haven't changed too much, but they're just young. They might get better.
The rookie from last year,
Scotty Barnes,
Scotty, he's gonna have I think have a good year, so a really good year, second sophomore season. The key with Brooklyn, though, another thing back to Brooklyn is the key to that team's success is going to be resting squarely on the shoulders of Steve Nash, the coach. He has to be able to put it all together, man. Coaches like chefs, man. They have to be able to mix all those ingredients together, properly, and make something come good out of that. So I think a lot of pressure's on Nash to sort of step up his game, in the coaching department.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's my thoughts on that.
Okay, let's talk about the West a bit, because the West is just as packed. I think they're looking pretty strong here.
Yeah.
A lot of people think the Clippers are going to just be the team, but there's so many
but
teams you could talk about here.
This the order we got. This the order you got to finish it right there.
No, this is not my order. These are just the teams. I mean, I don't know. I don't necessarily think that the Clippers will be the best team in the West, but some do.
This very well could be the order they finish up right here. You never know.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, these are the teams that stand out to me.
Right.
You know, you obviously got the Clippers. You know, they've got a very deep team if they're all healthy. They've got Paul George. They've got this guy here, the Claw, Kawhi Leonard. They've got John Wall. See how he'll go. Norman Powell. That's a big claw there.
Yeah.
I think Zubac's one of the better centers in the NBA. But most underrated anyway. I like Reggie Jackson's game from last year. Hopefully,
John Wall. The addition of John Wall was really. He's nice. He's rested and healthy, and just a.
So it's hard to know where. I think they could do what the Lakers did when AD joined the team. I think they could pretty much go straight to the top of the West. Quite easily. Golden State, I think they've still got a very good team. There's a thing we'll talk about with them in a minute, but
I wonder what thing you're referring to.
Let's talk about it. We might as well. The incident, Draymond punching Poole. What do you think about this? Do you think that? I mean, why didn't he get suspended? And why didn't Adam Silver come in and suspend him even?
No. Just ratings. Politics. It was ugly, man. It was really that punch could have been. There was so many repercussions that could have come out of that punch. Him breaking his hand, him breaking this guy's eye socket. It was just an ugly scene, man. And did they ever find out who actually videoed it? Everybody's trying to concentrate on who videoed it as opposed to the actual action itself,
Yeah, to me, I just don't. To me, I mean, you said some okay points, and I hear some other points as well. But I still think, why didn't Silver come over the top and suspend this guy?
Silver's he's done a great job in the post, since the late great David Stern passed on. But there have been this is one of the more questionable moments right here, like you said.
Let's say he does that to the other team in a game.
Okay.
During a game, punches somebody like that. No doubt he gets suspended for 4 or 5 games.
Yeah, I think maybe because it was in a practice situation. I think the NBA, the league, just decided to keep it internally, with the club itself. Let them deal with it,
Yeah, so that's Golden State. I think they'll do very well. I think they can overcome that. If they get an injury, I think they go down pretty fast, though. I think they are dependent on everyone being healthy,
right?
And even dependent on Draymond Green's defense. So
two factions to that team. You have the older guys, more experienced guys, and a core of young guys that are coming up.
Yeah, I mean, it's good that Wiggins and Poole got those good extensions. That's certainly well deserved, I think. So yeah, Golden State will definitely be in the mix, and you've got to always think about the champions. You can't sort of discount them.
Right.
Denver, they've got a few.
Murray's back, right? Yeah.
Not whether he's 100%. We'll see. Hopefully he is.
Yeah.
Hopefully Mega Porter Jr. is going to play like he did a couple of years ago.
Yeah, he looked pretty good so far preseason as well too. Yeah.
So a lot of people think that they may go pretty well. I read even someone predicting they'll make the finals. I don't think so, but with Joker there, you just never know. He has a 2-time MVP, and it just takes some good role players to actually play their roles, and they could be a threat. You just never know.
Yeah.
Now, Dallas were very impressive, especially in the playoffs last year. They've added Christian Wood, the crucifix. He might come off the bench as well, I hear. But he's
what do they call him, the crucifix?
Because a Christian Wood, like a Christian
piece of wood. Christian Wood, the crucifix. Okay, that's good. That's very clever. I wonder what could Catholic people around the world think about that. Yeah.
I'm not sure, but it's
very clever, very clever, very very clever.
Now they've got Luka as the actual short price favorite to win MVP award, but Dallas have to be in the top 5 or 6 teams in the NBA. I think usually for him to win that award. So it is possible, but again, I don't think his supporting team is great. I think they've got some role players, and that's what they were last year. A lot of role players that were able to elevate their games in the playoffs when Luka. I mean, I like Spencer Dinwiddie. I think he's great. I think they're going to miss Jalen Brunson, though. I think he was their core number 2 piece, so I think they're going to miss him. And Christian Wood, I'm not sure he's the guy that's going to get them there at all. I haven't seen it. What do you think about that?
Well, he's a bit slight build, but he's very, very talented. So the way the league is built, he's built for the league. The way it's constructed now. He's a great addition along with Luka. Yeah, Luka should be a MVP favorite if he can stop bitching to the referees. His referees, he gets on the referees' cases all the time and cries a little bit. I like him just play his game, get so caught up in all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
But he's number one, great talent, but a bit of a crybaby in my opinion. Sometimes. But they what about Timmy Hardaway Jr.? Is he back with them?
Who's that? Sorry.
Tim Hardaway Jr., my old teammate.
Yeah, he's ready to start the season. Yeah, he's
So if he's been working this game, he'll help them big time.
Yeah, and he needs to come back, and he needs to certainly help them out as well. I believe. I think they are going to give Josh Green some minutes as well. I think Phoenix. Now they were the team that made the finals a couple of years ago. They haven't really done anything much to change their team around too much.
Also, the team that got beat by a team from our National Basketball League, the Adelaide 36ers. The first time that ever happened in our league history in Australia. So shout out to the 36ers and CJ Brook.
Yeah, shout out to the 36ers, but then the Jack Jumpers beat them too, the 36ers.
Well, that's the issue though. Moving forward, NBL versus NBA games, the travel, we got to go over there.
Yeah.
We can reverse it. Let some of those teams come over here in the future.
Yeah, I agree.
Takes its toll. The travel takes its toll. So
it definitely does take its toll. So Phoenix, they're very small looking front court. I mean, they're going to have both Mikal Bridges starting with Cam Johnson. So that's going to be with Ayton. I think that's an interesting sort of team. That's for sure.
Yeah. What's the relationship between the coach Monty and DeAndre Ayton? They left off the last season on really on a bad note with him sitting on the bench, and for whatever reason they had some had some words exchange and all that. So that's going to be an important part of their team chemistry.
Yep.
And the team culture. What's the relationship between those two guys? Have you heard anything?
No.
Yeah.
But it's going to be interesting. Phoenix, it's maybe they can't get back to it, but we'll see that they're in the mix. But I like that. There's obviously should be some improvement to Minnesota and Memphis.
Minnesota, right? I was just about to say Minnesota, man. They're looking pretty good on paper.
Yeah, Rudy Gobert, great addition there, and this is a team you can't forget about. Minnesota. Edwards is going to be coming into his prime.
Yeah. Got a few little technical difficulties going on there. What's going on, man?
Fuck it. Again, people are calling me, and it's just bullshit anyway. They always have to do it now, don't they?
Yeah, but Minnesota has their version of the Twin Towers happening there with Gobert and big
Townsy, but
but
Edwards is the key factor. I think he could be a bona fide all-star again.
Love his game.
Love Russell's game as well, and I think they've got a very good starting lineup. And I think some of these bench guys are going to have to step up as well. So
there's some good bench guys. There's some good role players in that team as well too. Yeah. So they'll be right there. Challenging. The problem with having those two big guys in the post is whether they can guard smaller guys on the perimeter. Particularly Towns, Cat. He'll probably be matched up with some smaller, quicker guys at that when they play that big lineup. Will they be using that big lineup at all the time? With those two guys together.
No, I think they'll obviously get the minutes right. But it's always good to watch these early season games just to get an idea what the rotations really do look like, and they will change. A lot of teams, they won't. The teams that certainly don't do well, they like to change their rotations. They don't like to hold on to things for too long. Memphis missing Jaren Jackson Jr. to start the season.
All right, what's happening to him? I haven't been keeping up with that. What's happening to him? What's happening with
I think it's. It's just. I'm just trying to think what injury it was again. Jeez, put me on the spot. But he's going to be out probably at least 2 months.
Okay.
So that could be half the season with the way they sort of track. So there's going to be a lot of challenge on guys like Steven Adams and
Aquaman. They re-signed him. They extended him. They extended their
No, he's a Kiwi, and I think I like what I've seen so far from Memphis in the preseason. I think Jar's just got to be careful not to bloody injure himself.
Yeah, he's so slightly built, that he
jumps above the rim with his feet. It's just crazy.
Yeah,
Desmond Bain, what a steal that was in the second round of the draft. I think it was the second round.
Solid player.
Nearly an all-star level player, I think. He's really
he can score. He score at all three levels. He scores at all three levels.
And I think I like the fact. It'd be interesting to see what they do with Dylan Brooks, because Dylan Brooks is deferring a bit now, which is good.
Yeah,
what's good for the team.
He brings that toughness to the team as well.
I think they're pretty deep. I think there's enough depth there as well.
That backup guard for Morant, the Duke boy out of
Tyus.
He's he could be starting some other teams, man. He's that good. He comes in, man. That's why they were able to go like 20 and 4, 25 or whatever while Ja was out last year.
Yeah.
He didn't miss a beat, man.
Yeah. So and then
good coach, very well coached too. Very well coached.
Yeah, no, great coach. So the Lakers, do you give them a chance?
Hey, look at the shirt I'm wearing. Hey,
LeBron.
Still down with them, man.
AD.
LeBron, AD, man. Still, but in saying that, I'm a realist as well too. I don't see them doing too well this year as well, because they just don't have. They haven't. How come they haven't figured out the most simple thing? You have to put some good shooters around LeBron.
And they haven't done that. I mean,
they don't have that. They got a bunch of little guards, that play hard and everything, but they can't shoot. A lot of these guys,
It looks like AD is going to probably start at center.
Yeah, he doesn't like that. He's getting paid the big bucks. You got to do what you got to do. He has to man that down. Who is their other bigs though? Somebody got a bunch of young kids, huh?
Damian Jones and Thomas the Tank Bryant. So the other two guys at center.
Damian, I know he's tough. He's decent. He's decent. He can shoot. He can shoot for a big guy.
Yeah, so those two guys. I mean, AD will probably start at center. LeBron at probably the 4, and then they're going to have probably 3 guards starting. Westbrook.
Hopefully, they don't waste his last couple of years, in the league. He's on the verge of breaking Kareem's record, which is going to be huge. But especially for a guy who is not known as a scorer, he's an all-around player, playmaker.
Just on that at the moment, we'll get to that. LeBron breaking Kareem's scoring record. That's going to happen this season.
Yeah, what's Kareem's thoughts on that? What is Kareem? How's Kareem? Because Kareem's has been saying a few things in the media, bit old manish, get off my lawn type of stuff. Talking about Kyrie and a few other people, and Kareem's kind of a little bit. He's a bit surly in his old age. But he's still I can still consider him to be the GOAT in my opinion. Just based on his total career from high school to the pros. Because when you're rating guys, I think you have to start from early on to throughout the whole career. So his whole body of work, puts him in the GOAT status, in my opinion.
Yep.
LeBron's right there too,
Yep.
The same reasons.
Yeah, so that's going to be interesting, and it's going to be if it does happen this season, which could happen around sort of like February, March.
Yeah. Do we have any stats on how many points LeBron needs?
Yeah, he needs. I think
average.
he needs about. Let me just work it out. I think it's about.
Couple thousand.
It needs about 1,400. So
okay, less
13.
Less than 1,500.
So between game 50 and game 70, somewhere in there. It just depends on if he gets in, if he stays healthy, and all that sort of stuff. So if he misses 10 games, he could still do it quite easily by game 70, something around there. So so that's going to be a big achievement for LeBron.
Kareem, what do you think Kareem feels about that? How do you think he feels about it?
No, well, I'm not sure what he feels about it, but I think you've got to accept that someone's going to beat your record one day, aren't you?
Records are made to be broken. That's the old adage. Records are made to be broken.
Yep.
That's it, So yeah, so we got teams you don't have listed on here. Portland.
Yeah, so Portland, I don't think are going to make the playoffs. I'd be very surprised. I don't think they. I honestly think Chauncey Billups he's going to be the first coach fired in this season. I think.
You think? Yeah. Okay. He's on the hottest seat of all the coaches. You reckon? Huh? He has the hottest seat.
Yeah, I think. It's. I think there's a lot of missing. Pieces that Portland could have, if they're going to take it any further. I think Lillard's one of the best. I think he's one of the top 15 players still in the league. But yeah, I think they're gonna. It's going to be difficult in this environment. And Utah, obviously, they're obviously rebuilding now. They used to be right at the top of the West. They're rebuilding.
Oh yeah.
Other teams that are rebuilding in the West. Who else?
These are all the tank teams, the potential tanking teams, huh?
Sacramento. I think Sacramento are going to go for it, but I just don't think they're going to get there.
Yeah.
Sorry. The other team we're missing on this list is the Pelicans. So
Zion. Yeah, that's one of my favorite teams in the West. Yeah, you should definitely be on that list right there. Yeah, so Zion and McCollum and Ingram. That's a nice little big three. They all stay healthy.
Yeah, exactly.
The bench too. The bench is good too.
Yeah, bench is good. I like this. I think Dyson Daniels is going to get it 15 minutes a game.
Yeah. Heard he's looking good. Heard he's looking good defensively too on the defensive end. Has some major block during the preseason.
And I do have an idea for the next podcast episode in November that we'll do. We spoke to, if you remember November last year, we spoke to Warwick Giddy.
Yeah.
Now I'm friends with Ricky Daniels, and I want to get him on the podcast next month.
Oh, okay, yeah. I like to.
We'll talk to him about his career and obviously.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
He's got another kid called Dash. I don't know if you knew that.
Dash Daniels, that's a cool name. Another double D guy.
So the Dustbuster and Dash. So
they're very creative with the names.
Yeah, so I think it'll be a great idea. I think it's a good time maybe to get him on next month. So we'll look to line that up probably sometime second week or something of November would be probably a good time. I think that's a good idea. So yeah, I guess some of the rookies. I don't know if you've had a look at any of the rookies yet.
Yeah.
Rookie of the year.
Before we go to rookie, I want to just talk about real quickly a meme I saw on the Lakers. About talking about the Lakers, there was a meme somebody posted. It was really hilarious. Of the latest AD shoes, and it was two moon boots. Yeah. And so that was supposed to be the latest edition of his shoe line. Right. There was a couple of moon boots they had pictured, which was really funny. The same ones I used for my now repaired Achilles. When I was in the moon boots, so I thought that was quite funny. So shout out to whoever came up with that meme.
Cool.
But yeah, on to the rookies now. On to the young fellas.
I'm not sure if you've seen any of these guys. I think it's obviously it's obviously a travesty about Chet Holmgren.
But best wishes to Chet and his recovery. But there's been a few players who had to go through that. Blake Griffin and Ben Simmons. To think to two guys had to sit out before their rookie year started. So
Joel Embiid got a slow start, and look at him now.
Yeah. A lot of guys have gone off to a slow start. So hopefully he'll take
Zion. So it does happen. And so Banchero, Orlando guy.
Banchero's a real deal. Yeah, he's a real deal.
Jabari Smith Jr., he got drafted number 3 with Houston. This is these two guys in the pit.
Very smooth player, yeah.
I think he's got a pretty big role there. I think he'll get as many, 30 minutes maybe at power forward a game.
Yeah.
For the Rockets. I'm not sure why. I liked what I've seen with Keegan Murray.
I did too, yeah.
But what are Sacramento doing? They should be starting this guy. They're not even going to start him, I don't think. That's what I read.
Yeah, Sacramento might surprise us this year and have a lot better season than we predicted. Yeah, they got a lot of talent on that team.
They do have a lot of talent. I think they can certainly do it. Fox and Sabonis, these are probably the 2 most underrated players in the whole league. Yeah. And they're certainly going very, very well.
They picked up Dellavedova. Shout out to him. He got a little shock because he has a history with the coach Mike Brown from their Cleveland days.
Yep.
So they brought him on board, bring a little toughness in the backcourt defensively. So good on little Delly for making his way back up in the big league.
So sort of surprising, but good on him.
Yeah,
good on him, because he didn't have a great season last year, I don't think, in the NBL. So
NBL, it doesn't really. People don't realize the NBL, NBA sometimes doesn't. They don't translate well. Look at so far our big fella here in Brisbane, Big Bangs. He's not setting the league on fire at the moment. Hopefully he will down the track.
But I think he's it just sometimes age is a factor too, and I think Baines has got to the point in his career where he's sort of been through it all, Yeah. Now the other rookies to think about, Jaden Ivey in Detroit got picked number 5.
Love his game.
I love this guy's game. The other guy that I like in Detroit, actually, who got picked number 13, I think is going to get a fairly good role. He's looking great in the preseason. Is my guy Jalen Duren.
What's Jalen what?
Jalen Duren.
Duren. Oh, okay. Not familiar with his game too much. Yeah.
He's only 18. This guy is only 18 years of age. 18. And he's a rim runner. And he's a rebounder. He's averaging like 12 rebounds a game in the preseason.
All right.
He's going to get 20 minutes a game for Detroit. And I'll just look out for him. He's going to block some shots.
I will. You probably still smell the Similac milk on him. He's that young, huh?
Yeah, 18 years of age. And this guy's going to be...
Hyper Dandy is the great... who's the guy that came up all the diaper... A guy from college basketball. Had all the great lines. I can't believe I'm not thinking of his name. He came up Diaper Danny. Somebody out there, whoever's listening is going to be like, "What? You can't remember?"
Yep.
Famous broadcaster. It'll come to me. Keep going. Sorry.
So, and then there's other guys, other rookies that I think are going to shine. I think a lot of people have been talking about Tari Eason. I haven't mentioned his name here, but he's was drafted about number 14 by the Rockets. He's been looking really, really good in the preseason. Okay. So Tari Eason, I think he'll get a lot of minutes. I think.
Dick Vitale. This guy I'm thinking about. Sorry, Dick Vitale. Famous broadcaster.
Dick Vitale. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Dick Diaper Dandies.
Yeah.
These are all the diaper dandies you're talking about. But sorry.
And then Benedict Maverin, or we call him Eggs Benedict, because he's going to have about 25 minutes a night for Indiana, I think. So obviously another tanking team. So I don't know. My pick. I'm going to go with. I don't know. I think I'm going to go with Keegan Murray.
Rookie of the year will be Ben Carroll, without a doubt.
I think he's the favorite for sure.
Oh, definitely.
I think someone like Keegan Murray is going to be the rookie. I think he's going to come through and do quite well.
Okay. I'll go with Paulo. I'll go with the favorite. Yeah, Ben Carroll, because he's so polished. His game is so polished.
He does everything. He's going to have a lot of usage. He's going
NBA
to
body. Got the NBA body on him already.
Yeah, I mean they don't
like
really.
back in college as well too. I like them.
I mean, with Foot's out, and I think that they don't really have a great point guard, and I think he gets a lot of the ball. I like what I've seen with Franz Wagner too in the preseason. He's playing a lot of guard for Orlando, but I still think Orlando are probably tanking. Oklahoma, we know they're going to be tanking, and it's about these two guys here, which we were talking about, Victor Wembanyama and Scoot Henderson. So
Scoot. That's the little guy. Both of those guys.
The reason I call this guy the hippie bus is his initials are VW. So VW is a combi. A combi is a hippie bus. So I call him the hippie bus.
Okay, even though we got the hippie bus there, but we go.
I can't even spell hippie. It's meant to be hippie bus.
That's good. That's clever. That's just very thinking outside the square. Thinking outside the square, I like that. Yeah.
And Scoot Henderson, I think these two are probably number 1 and number 2 in the draft for next year. So this is what they're tanking for. These guys here, and if you saw the highlights for that game, both of these guys absolutely superstars, I think. But Wembanyama, just because he's 7'3" or 7'4", and can do what he does, shot 7 3-pointers in that game.
Fluid, just a fluid, smooth player.
5 blocks, he's just crazy.
Moves like a guard. He's like he's that next notch, I think, from like a Kevin Durant. Another what they call what would they call the big fella for the horse unicorn. They like he's another unicorn. Another unicorn. But I like the way you come up with that VW, the whole VW thing with the hippie bus and all. That's really clever. Thinking outside the square. I got a thinking out the square conundrum I want you to figure out.
Okay.
It also has a teaching message out there for people as well too. All right. There's a father and a son in a car accident, right?
Father and son
in a car accident.
Yep.
Father unfortunately is killed. Son is rushed to the hospital.
Yep.
Doctor takes one look and says, "Hey, I can't operate that kid. That's my son." What is happening there? What's your thoughts? You have to think outside the square. It's very simple.
I like these puzzles. I love this puzzle, man.
We're gonna get you away. I got one for everything.
So hang on. So father and his son died in a car accident.
Right, father and son in a car accident. Father dies, unfortunately. Son is rushed to the hospital.
Yeah.
Doctor takes one look and says, "I can't operate this kid. That's my son."
Maybe they try to get the doctor to operate when he was already dead. Or
No, he was still.
He's alive.
The fact that the doctor was like,
but he was able to talk. Okay, so
father was killed in a car accident. So, what's the scenario? What's the story there? In your opinion?
I've got to think about it. I've got to know this. Hang on, give me a minute. Give me 30 seconds or a minute.
All right, okay.
I can work this out. So, fathers and son. Son goes off to hospital. Father's
already been killed in a car accident. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the father, but whether it's the father of that kid, I don't know. But that
was his biological father. Son.
That was his biological father that died in the accident.
Yep. Rushed to the hospital. The doctor said, "Oh, I can't do this. My son."
Okay, so the only thing that I can think of in that scenario is that the father who died.
Yeah.
Right, in the car accident, right, was married to someone like fucking Caitlyn Jenner.
No.
And Caitlyn Jenner, or the opposite way around. So there was a woman that became a man, and the woman that became a man, was also a father or something. Is it? Am I close?
You're way off. Yeah.
Damn.
I will say that would make a great Hollywood script, what you just came up with.
I thought it'd have to be something. I thought it'd have to be something like that. Where
it's very simple. You ready?
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure somebody out there or whoever watching this has probably figured it all out. The doctor was his mother.
The doctor was his mother.
The doctor who looked up and said, "I can't operate this kid." Was his mother. We assume the doctor was a male all the time. You women out there, it's a message for you guys.
Actually, I got that. Yeah. Yeah, I got confused a bit there. Yeah, so I think
that's the whole idea behind it. Sometimes we overthink stuff. Sometimes we just got to relax. Oh, the doctor was the mother. And it's a message, and it's an inspiration for young ladies out there that you can be, a doctor just like a male can. There's probably more female doctors than there are males.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that.
Yeah. Then you also you can reverse it, make it the nurse came out. Mother and daughter. Mother's killed. Daughter's going to the hospital. Nurse has a look. Said, "Oh, that's my daughter." We'll assume that it was a nurse was a female when it could be a male nurse.
Yeah, for sure.
So a bit role reversal. What message for you guys?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, especially for you young ladies. Yeah.
I like that, mate. So I like that.
Thanks, man. Thanks, man. I try to teach, try to each one teach one sort of thing sometimes, it's not just about rolling balls out or trying to dunk on people. It's about using your mind sometimes, mind power.
Yeah. Now, I'm looking forward to watching these games today. If I get a chance, I don't know. It seems like there's a lot of emails coming through, which I'm sure I'm going to be busy once we're sort of on there. But
I got a recording as we speak right now. I'm looking at the red recording button right now. So my mission this today would be to try to get through the day without hearing results, so I can watch the games.
So what are you doing straight after this? You're not going to sit down and try to watch the game. What are you doing? What do you get up to?
I got things to do. I got to run around and take care of stuff. So I just watch the games later on. Plus I can fast forward through. By recording, I have control. I can fast forward through the commercials, the coach's decision. What do you call the referee disputes and all that. That type of stuff. All of those stuff like that. Even free throws in some situations. So I can get through a 2-hour game, within 30 minutes or so. Just my own condensed version. Just a matter of not being told what the results were. So I basically avoid mankind throughout the day. No, I can't do that. I just even if I do get the results, I'll still watch to see how it all unfolded. It's still fun to watch how it unfolded. Yeah. Now, NBL, we're gonna talk NBL or what?
Yeah, we've got some time to talk NBL. Hey. I mean, I haven't been watching a lot of it. I know the Jack Jumpers have sort of had their ups and they've obviously had some good ones recently.
Yeah. The Jack Jumpers have a young fellow on their team, Milton Doyle.
Yes.
Sounds like an Irishman, but he's actually a Black American from the west side of Chicago.
Yeah.
But also attended my university, Loyola University, Chicago. So I'm really rooting for that kid, or American for that kid, because he's a heck of a talent. He's from my alma mater. Yeah. And he started off strong. Started off slow, and he started to pick it up a bit. He's doing really well. So I'm looking forward to better things for him moving forward.
So look, most teams have played about 4 games at the moment, 4 or 5 games.
Yeah.
Brisbane yet to win.
Yeah. They are. They're Duncan, their head coach. He'd definitely be on the hot seat at the moment. They got issues with cohesiveness at the moment. Especially on the defensive end. Teams they're leaving gaps in the on the lane big enough for a Mack truck to drive through. That's an old saying right there. But they're not doing it at the defensive end. I mean, they got Tyler Johnson who played 300-something NBA games. I thought he was a great player when he was Miami Heat and a few other teams he played with.
Yep.
Whether he's a good addition, where they already got Sobey. Sobey was a dynamic scorer. Maybe they're in each other's way. You never know.
Yeah, I have to sit down and watch the Bullets game and see how they're sort of going. Impressed.
Everybody's talking about the rotations as well, which is a big issue. They're bringing players in and out. There's no players can't get loose. I mean, or can't get up enough. Next thing you know, they're coming out of the game. So it's like a yo-yo sort of rotational.
I don't like those yo-yo rotations. I really hate it, actually.
Players don't either.
I really hate it. It's
from a player.
they get 40 minutes a game, and you want your best players playing 30 minutes, in the NBL at least. So
right.
I think so. You don't want to, you want at least 4 of your guys playing 30 minutes if you can.
Right. So you see the body language, like a big guy like Big Baines gets taken out.
Yeah.
Goes back in. Then he's looking at the body language when he's coming back in. Oh, okay, all right, here we go again. Then he got the kid that he replaced him. Big Gak, the big he's a big Sudanese kid. Has a really the hair up, kind of like a pineapple so hairstyle going on. I like his game though. He's quite talented, So he's being kind of yo in and out as well too. So they got a lot of stuff to work on. But I got a bit of faith. I prefer for them to obviously start off slow and finish up strong as opposed to the opposite. So hopefully that will be the case. It's a very tough league, very, very tough league now.
I like. Sydney, Perth, they're looking pretty good. Obviously, I think New Zealand have won 3 in a row. That's interesting. I have to see what's going on there. So
their pink uniforms on. It's pretty sweet though. Real men wear pink too, I guess.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I don't think there's much more to cover for me. Is there anything else on your list?
No, my list was pretty much up here.
Yeah.
Remember, you can be a doctor too.
Yes.
That's the point. No. I'm just going to sit back and watch the league. Both NBA and NBL are, it's great to basketball be back. Basketball, is an extremely exciting game to watch and play, as you would say. I'll be competing next month in the Pan Pacific Games on the Gold Coast, November 4th to the 13th. So my Achilles is coming good now. Thanks to Dr. Lutz and all the physios that have helped me out there. It happened a year from today, or a year from November of last year was when it took place. This tournament, which is like the Olympics for older people, 30 and over, will be starting November. It was supposed to happen last November, but because of COVID, it was canceled. So I got lucky on that. Now I won't be missing it. So shout out to my team, the Vampires, the MAD boys that I'll be playing with in that league. They've actually recruited me from. It's a group of guys from Canberra and Hobart who actually recruited me to play in their team, and we will be playing the 55 to 60 age group.
Okay, wow.
So hopefully I'll be able to, get down to court properly and do my thing, and we bring home the gold. So wish us luck.
Yeah, no, looking forward to it. And I'm not sure if you knew, so tomorrow you've got with the NBA 13 games. So that's every team that didn't play today plays tomorrow. So every team has played their a game in the first 2 games of the season, I think. So that's
26 of the 30 teams will be playing tomorrow.
Yep.
Man, it's gonna be a busy day, man. Busy day.
Yep. So I'm not going to probably see a couple of games, but
who's your MVP prediction for MVP winning this year?
I'm going to go with Embiid. I think I'm going to go with Embiid this year.
Embiid, okay.
I think he was pretty close last year, but I just think that give him this year, I think he can do it. I think he's as long as he stays healthy, of course. I mean, if he doesn't stay healthy, he doesn't win. But if he stays healthy, I think he can win. Whether Philadelphia do it in the playoffs, I don't know. Yeah. But I think Philadelphia will definitely be in the top 2 teams in the East when it comes to the standings at the end of the year. So that's my prediction there. Boston may win more games, but I don't know. I think Philadelphia should have the best record.
Of course, we didn't even touch on Boston's coaching.
Yeah.
Coach last year, Imo Udoka, his little drama, we won't even touch on that. Where everybody knows what's going on there. Best wishes to Nia Long.
Yeah.
With her going through her stuff with that, and everybody involved. Hopefully, we'll see him again one day in the coaching ranks. He was a great coach.
He was a great coach. He got them focused. He got them to think that they weren't, they were a team, not all these bloody individuals. And
he did a great job.
Sort of clicked their fingers early in the season, and he got them sort of there. And well, that's what it looked like.
Right,
And,
but the lesson to be learned there is can't let the little head control the big head.
Yeah, exactly.
I won't go into too much details about that, and I've been guilty of that over the years,
Yeah, but I remember Nia. She was in that movie, Big Mama's House. I don't know if you remember that movie, Big Mama's House.
Yeah. Come on, Nia. She's been in a lot of stuff, man.
Yeah, that's the one I remember in. So.
Boys in the Hood. Back in the day.
Yeah.
She was a hood pinup girl, Everybody loves some Nia, a little cute butt, yeah. But hey, it just goes to show, no matter how. Nah, I won't even go there. Yeah. Just handle your business, guys, out there when it comes to the females. Handle your business best you can. It's a dynamic situation, males and females. We hope we can do a whole podcast on that one day.
Yeah. That sounds good, mate. Anyway, I've got to keep going. I've got people bloody ringing and calling me and all this sort of.
No worries, man. Really enjoy working, talking with you again, and shout out to you wearing the hometown team's hat too.
Yeah, and you see this T-shirt here? Do you see this one I got on eBay? Who that is?
The newly inked $140 million man.
Yeah, I think that's how much he's got. But he got the guy that got punched in the face. He should have been.
Yeah, he's part of the whole pool party with the Splash Brothers.
Yeah,
that's a marketer's dream. The whole pool Splash Party, Splash Brothers stuff. That's a marketer's dream, ain't it? To come up with his surname. Yeah. He's a great player, though. He's gonna be all right.
Yeah.
All right, brother Tim. Say hi to the missus from me.
Yeah, I certainly will, mate. Look forward to catching up soon. I'll be back in Brisbane on the.
No. Well, just tell me on the, because there was a big issue real quickly where a few people, this rapper recently just got killed. PNB Rock, may he rest in peace.
Mm-hmm.
The main issue was that he posted where he was at this particular time in LA, and these gangsters came. These gang guys came and shot him in broad daylight at a restaurant in LA because they knew where he was at, and he had all this expensive jewelry on, everything. So my message out there to people out there is, don't be posting what your locations and where you at, where you're gonna be. Social media, keep that stuff to yourself, because there's people out there lurking.
Yeah.
That are just lurking. Especially. On social media. So yeah. So let me know off camera, man. Where you gonna be
here? Yeah. You'll know. It's not that far away. So yeah.
All right.
Okay, mate. All the best. Right. Hope we have a great season. Let's just hope we get some great performances. And I really look forward to watching it. I'll try to line up a show for about maybe less than a month's time with Ricky.
One more thing. Shout out to Lauren Jackson, probably the greatest basketball player in Australian history. Her resume speaks for itself, as well as Opals for finishing up, with the bronze medal in the Women's World Cup. So Sandy Brondello, who used to actually train with us back in the day when I was with Brisbane Bullets. She was a hell of a player, loved the game. It's great to see her success. She was the coach of that team, and she's coached in New York as well. So shout out to those girls, those ladies, for such a great effort. And Lauren Jackson, man, you are the best.
Yep.
Right.
Okie dokie.
All right,
you go, mate.
Love, peace, and hair grease. Love, peace, and hair grease.
That's been another episode of More Than a Game with the great Andre Moore, Tim Wilshire here. We've got looking forward to this duck race, so get that out of the way as well.
Heart Sport. Get all your stuff from Heart Sport.
Yeah.
All your sporting needs. All right.
No worries, man. Cool.
Right, take care, buddy.
See you later. We'll get this uploaded tonight as well. Cheers. See ya.
Great. Take care. Have a great day. Thank you. Bye-bye.